Today I'm going to show you how to stop the stories in the head that are blocking you from abundance, joy, peace, happiness. Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube. Here to help you break through those fears and live an awesome life. I'm getting a little tired of the stories coming over. What are the stories? Yeah, Hacker T was going to get a break for the holidays, but it's not going to happen. What are the stories? I really want to find peace, Landria, but my ego keeps telling me this and that and this and that, and I can't take it anymore. But, well, who the heck's doing that? Right? We're really one energy. So, I want you to start to think right now about what your focus is on. Now, you know the 3-second manifesting has been so popular because it's a quick way for you to focus on one simple thing that is really the key to manifesting what you do or don't desire. And what is that? It is what your thoughts are. Now, I can go into, and I do this in my e-course that I'm creating, which is, yeah, it's going to be pretty cool, right? And that is, let's get to the root of all that. What is it? It's all fear-based. But you know what? We can spend years with a psychiatrist and trying to solve our problems, and it just is us talking about our problems, and that's really what you're doing when you walk around during the day. You're thinking about your problems, other people, and how they're a problem. Now that's the biggest thing I think I'm seeing come over is not only not loving yourself, which is sort of a ridiculous thought to me. I don't love myself. I mean, I don't love myself? Are there two people talking there? Yeah, there are. You think there are. You think there's some other thought pattern over here, and it's an energy that is telling you the stuff that you believe. There are really not separate entities within you. You're one energy. But in your head, you've created this two stories going on. I want to be peaceful, but the thing keeps going on. What is that? Well, that is the ego. Oh, I know. That's a big deal, too. All right, let me have my coffee here. All right, so we're going to stop all of this right now. So something I see is the thing with other people. Not accepting other people's journey, not accepting other people's choices and thoughts and beliefs. So let's say you're in a relationship. I've seen a lot of this lately. You're in a relationship, and that relationship is now strained. You're not resonating with that person. Maybe they're negative or they're discouraging or whatever. Instead of trying to change it, is it possible that you are meant to find the peace within that situation and then not try to change a person, but decide if you need to be around it or remove yourself? It's really that simple. But instead of removing ourselves from situations that we know we can't control because we can't interfere in free will, we stay in them and we try to change a person. And that is right. The ego, guilty. Yep, me. You're proud of it too. Yeah, so the ego says, well, I'm so great. And I'm right all the time, and so, yes, and they should be thinking like me because I'm so spiritual. Well, I'm sorry, you're not if you're thinking that way. So the other thing that we have to deal with is the fact that we're telling ourselves a story. And everything's coming from that. The story about the other person, the story about the world, the story about me, and who am I in this world? And am I a victim? And everybody else has imposed their stuff on me. It's all just your story. It is you generating a story about this world, this planet, you, your ego, all of it. It's you telling yourself a story about how things work that is blocking you from creating the life that is amazing. Yeah. And so what we want to do here is, again, go back to the 3-second manifesting. So if you're having all these questions, you haven't mastered that. So if you've done the 3-second manifestation video and you go, oh my gosh, this is so simple. And then you're going off and you're thinking about other things. You're not using the 3-second manifesting. That is designed to get you to constantly monitor your thoughts, to catch them, to catch them, to catch them. And that's why I say 3 seconds, because there's this thought, negative thought, that has to switch over to the positive one. Now, there is another exercise I gave you. It's about, you know, the reality shift, 3 seconds or 10 seconds to, you know, shift to a new reality. And that is, when you're going over here, if you have the positive thought and you're attaching negative feelings to it, you're not really believing it. It's really important for you to choose a positive thought that you know is something you can believe in. So if you're shooting for something so unbelievably fantastic in your mind and you're nowhere near that, you're shifting over to another negative really thought. And that is, I really can't be abundant. I really can't be all these things. Now, we're going into a new era here where the focus has to be on abundance and peace and love and enlightenment for everyone. We are meant to raise the frequency of the planet, and right now I'm seeing people so entrenched in themselves, and that is the ego. Yeah, and it's all about the ego and me, 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 me. And so what happens there? You're not expanding your energy out. You're not giving, and then giving is the message that you are abundant and that you are okay and that you are compassionate. You care about the other because you are the other, and if you don't take care of the other, you will suffer the consequences. You're going to keep learning that lesson that that person is as valuable as you, and if you are judging somebody else and thinking that they need to think the way you do, they don't have to be your best friend, then, well, God forbid you be judged, right? So we must, in this new era of, in this new era of potential peace for everyone, we must be the peace. And with that comes everything beautiful. And instead of focusing on the one thing that I want, it's not going to get you anywhere. It's all going to come together if your foundation is that of peace and caring and allowing the universe to take you where it's meant to, so that you can evolve, and also, more importantly, understanding that this journey has a very positive purpose. And when you battle that, you are sending the message that life isn't right and that I'm a victim and that I'm powerless. So let's catch that. And the story every day should be, what am I doing right now to improve this current moment? So if you don't do if you haven't mastered 3-second manifesting, then ask yourself, and you might do that and add it to that. All right, here's a positive thought I've moved over, but what am I doing right now to improve the frequency of the planet? Am I thinking a higher thought that's really going to benefit others? Or is this me just wanting money or wanting things? And that's really not a planet that anybody really ultimately wants to be on. Because that's people struggling for things for the ego. Right? That's just you and the ego wanting things for you because you think it's all going to make you happy. And it's not. So then you keep going over to a thought that you change that you think is positive, but it's really positive for you and your ego, which is a lower frequency. So what frequency are you on? Can you ask yourself at that moment when you switch over to the 3-second manifesting, is this thought really contributing in a positive way? What can I do right now to contribute every single day, every moment, catch myself, to manifest positive thoughts? And it can be for you, it can be to be kinder, to be more compassionate, to be more giving, to stop being a victim, to forgive others, to stop judging. Oh my gosh, the complaints, it's always about, oh, well, I'm doing this and this, and then they're doing this. And I'm like, you're so not doing this. Because it doesn't matter what they're doing. It matters what's happening right here. because then you'll see that person in that situation totally different. And you know what happens there? That is the most amazing place of peace and joy and abundance, and even the ego loves that. So, where are you right now with your focus? Is it just to get the stuff? Is it just about me? Is it the story I'm telling myself as if you're some separate person? What can I do in this moment to contribute to a very positive planet? What is that? Your positive message and thoughts and prayers and compassion, giving, dropping judgment. That's a real tough one. It goes on all day, right? Even like, oh, I don't like the color that person's wearing on their sweater or whatever, you know, oh, red. Or we're doing it all the time. We're judging as if we're right and that the ego is the ultimate answer to everything and everybody else has to be just like you. Well, they don't. We're here to be a diverse species experiencing our own individual journeys within the same energy that needs to change right now if you're going to survive in this new world, because there's going to be stuff happening that's going to blow your mind in a very positive way and other things that are going to scare the crap out of you. If you're not ready for that, all this other stuff that you're worrying about is not going to matter anymore. And you're going to look back and say, what have I been doing? Oh my gosh. What have I been doing? My world just changed. It's not going to look the same way. Trust me. It's changing. And what are you contributing to that new world? Are you feeling good about that? Are you feeling good about, now, the ego generally will not feel good about what it has wanted and what it's fought for and what it's argued for. And even if it's you arguing your opinion, is that contributing to a positive world? Because you don't have the answers. None of us does. Question everything. Question me. Question, everybody. You know if what you're doing is positive and on a higher frequency. You know when you're fighting and struggling with something that's the ego. Having to be right and having other people to act, even people having to have somebody get well. Those are positive thoughts you can send, but when you have to have, I want that person while you're doing it for you. You want them to not experience that journey because it's painful. Yeah, some of it is painful and some people just have to go through that. Be okay with that if that's the end result, and be there for the positive vibes and messages for them, allowing them to make that decision if they get sick or if they die. Or if they never come out of density and they leave this planet in a low frequency, that's okay. In fact, when they move on, they're going to have to accelerate their growth on the other side. Say, oops, I got to go back and do some things better. If you can be the catalyst for positive, let's just say, thinking and actions, the catalyst, and not forcing your ego on that person, then you will be free. Then you'll know that your ego is not trying to control things and that you're going into a place of spirituality, and you can walk into the chaos and say, okay, this is my test. I've had people tell me that they're having to go to some very negative holiday gatherings with family and they don't want to do it. And I said, yeah, well, guess what? You can stay in your room, hide from the world, or you can go out there and test yourself and say, am I really all that awakened? What do I have to still work on? Am I taking those thoughts and those whatever they are and seeing it as something that has power over me, or am I seeing them and going, wow, I see them so totally different now. I see them as very damaged, they think they are, damaged people who are believing that story and striking out and trying to control others through their negativity, because that's where they are. Can you find the compassion and say, wow, I have a really messed up family and I'm going to just stand in here in this chaos and I'm going to be the peace and I'm not going to participate in that energy. Can I do that? That's key, because it's the same goes for outside that when you walk out that door. It's not just your family. When you walk out that door, there's going to be somebody who's going to yank your chain. That trigger is going to go off. You're going to, think and feel certain things. And this is what we must master to go to those higher frequencies. We must master that. And most of that is not trying to make things happen, it's letting go. So, abundance, all of these beautiful things lie within the realms of this planet. And we can connect to it at any point. What are you doing? What am I doing in this moment that is contributing to this planet in a positive way? Because when you do that, you benefit. But don't do it because of that. Do it because you've got a mission. And this suffering has to end. And this naive thinking about that stuff's not going on out there that's really happening. We have free energy available. We have abundance beyond our imagination. No one ever has to struggle, ever. It's how we as a society are working with each other. And when we stop opposing each other and letting authorities do their crap and putting them in power and allowing it to go on without taking our own control and trying to battle them, let it go. Create your positive world. Do what you can within your positive reality and spread it to others without judgment, without pushing what you believe is how the world should work. We must let this go and end the thinking and end the dominance of the ego and the I am awakened and then judging others because they're not awakened. Then you are them. We are so often that which we're criticizing. We really are. Watch what you say. You're going to notice that it bothers you most because somehow you're resonating with it. And very often, you're not resonating with it and you need to get away from it. Maybe you've progressed past the abusive relationship and it's time to move on and not allow that in your life. You were resonating with it. You no longer are. You no longer believe that you are that person who's worthless. So, it all comes from you. It's not the other. When we as individuals change that thinking, our reality will shift into something so amazing. You will be at peace. You will see chaos as something different. You will understand that there is pain, but there's struggle and suffering is not required. That will end. And then there's nothing but compassion and love and peace for one another. And the challenges coming, we'll accept those as something positive and part of the experience of being human. And there will be heaven on earth at that point. Yeah, everybody wants that. Even the ego wants that. You are whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Blessings to you, my friend. Ready? Namaste.